G'day everyone, it's Warren from NQ Explorers again. I'm just here on behalf of Garrett Australia today with another little video on the new Garrett ATX pulse induction metal detector. On my previous videos I concentrated on that revolutionary new double D coil and its sensitivity on small gold targets in hot ground. Today I'm going to use a coil that will be of great interest to Australian prospectors, and that's the 20-inch monoloop coil. It's actually an elliptical mono with truncated ends, and it's about 15 inches across, so nominally it's a 20-inch mono coil. We'll do a few demo videos and a couple of the little differences that you find with this mono on the machine, and then I'll bury a couple of targets and we'll see how it responds to those. So thanks for watching, and we'll have a look at this big mono coil today. Okay, first thing first, the coil change. Anyone who's been in the armed forces will know what digger proof means. This thing is built for armed services, so it is absolutely robust. It's all composite material, it won't even scratch. Now, I've done a lot of hours on this machine now. So all your cables and connectors are internal, so they're all protected from damage. Downside is it's a little bit fiddly to get into this coil connector, but it's not as bad as what it looks. What we'll do now is change this coil so I can put this big mono on. I've got that one ready there. So it's just a matter of folding it up, unlocking this cam, and then you can pull out the main shaft, which reveals the cable connector in there. Now, how do you get to that, you ask me? Easiest way, you can do it without taking the arm cuff off, but I'll take the arm cuff off. Wait, you open one of the battery covers, unlock the arm cuff, and it comes straight off. Now you have full access to the coil connector. So it's just a matter of unscrewing that, and it just unplugs. It's just the same as the AT Gold and AT Pro coil connector. In goes the big mono. Just a matter of lining up the plug, and it's a lot easier. This little doohickey here is to prevent the cable to running back down into the shaft. I mean, it's not a disaster if that happens, but that just makes it a little bit easier. It's a matter of plugging that on there, screwing it up. Quite easy. Put that little doohickey protector, just covers it there like that. Back goes the arm cuff. That just slides on here, and you can put that whatever length you want for your own arm. Lock that back on. Put your battery cover back on. Deploy the coil. Turn it back over again, and fold it back out. It's ready to go. Okay, well the next accessory is your Garrett sling. You're going to need this thing with the big mono. It does get heavy after a while. And if you're a smaller person, this will make a big difference. You can also shorten your shafts out so the coil's closer to your toes. Obviously, if you're prospecting, you shouldn't have any metal in your boots because it's going to pick them up, so make sure you've got a fairly inert footwear. And you can shorten this up and bring the coil in closer to your toes, and you get a good balance on the big mono on the ATX then. Okay, this is very simple to use, just a matter of putting one arm through it. This just goes around the back of your neck. The padded section sits on your shoulder. And on the detector, you've got the elastic section with the clip. Just clip her on. There you go. And you're away. Now, when you have a monoloop coil attached to the ATX, either the 20-inch or the 8-inch, the iron check function does not work. That only works with a double D coil. You actually get an error code if you attempt an iron check. I'll just demonstrate that now. Iron check's this hold here. That's your error code. So you haven't got the iron check function on a monoloop coil. Okay, I'm just going to demonstrate the target response to that big mono coil on a large object at depth, which is what you'd obviously be using that coil for. I haven't got a 10-ounce nugget on me, so this 10-ounce piece of lead will have to do. That's about just over 300 grams of lead. And I've augured this hole down to 16 inches or 400 millimeters. You can see there. And the other thing to remember, that is a mono coil, of course, and this is quite hot ground. And I can get a nice stable threshold in this ground with the mono. So in goes a lump of lead. I'll cover him in. One thing about the ATX that is really outstanding is its stable threshold. It is virtually unaffected by EMI. I've detected in around lightning storms, you don't get any interference from power lines and all that sort of thing, because you can always get a nice stable threshold. And of course that's the critical thing about when you're looking for gold, is the stability of the threshold. Even on the mono coils you get that fantastically stable threshold. On the double D, that new technology double D, it is outstanding. The threshold on that is unbelievable in all ground conditions. You can just get it to operate beautifully. Thunderstorms, ironstone, does not worry it. But here we go in fairly hot ground here with a monoloop coil. We've got that 300 grams of lead buried there at 16 inches, and we'll see if we get a target response. We're in motion mode, and we've got all the factory settings of 10 for sensitivity and 7 for threshold. Let's have a crack at this. Of course, you do have the option of powering up, if you like, by increasing your sensitivity, and also by going to non-motion mode. But of course, in the real world I've found, particularly in Australian goldfields, you can't run anything with a flat out sensitivity. You just the thing will be undrivable. So 10's nice. If you can operate no worries up and around the 11, 12, you'll get a good stable threshold, and you will find targets. So we'll just have a crack at this now. We'll see if we can hear this buried lead nugget. Well, of course, no problem at all. Listen to the target response to that. I mean, it's going to pick that nugget up at much greater depths than that, but that was just by way of demonstration. I'm going to bring the coil up here if you like. Get a target response up there. I'm now well above the ground, starting in the target. Now if you were swinging it, this is your detecting height. There's your target response on that mono. Beautiful stuff. I mean, I could extend that hole, and I might even try it down to much greater depths, and we'll see how we go. Okay, we're at half a metre now, 20 inches. Look, of course a high-end PI like the ATX is going to pick up a target of that size and conductivity at great depths, but it's just by way of demonstration in a reasonably hot ground. In goes our lead nugget. It's 20 inches now in hot ground. This is not mildly mineralised, it's quite hot. It's actually lava and scoria rock. Very hot. Very high ground balance on an AT gold. So here we go. Let's move this tripod so you don't get a response from the tripod. Comes the big coil. No problem at all. As you're going to, that's a low high, which is a high conductivity target, which is a piece of lead that size is. That's 20 inches, half a metre. Let's go up here somewhere. Another 6 inches above the ground. But as I said, that should be no surprise to anyone who knows anything about high-end PI. Big mono. Should be going really deep with this thing. Beautiful. No worries. Okay. Well, that's the big monoloop coil. It's a great tool to have in your arsenal if you're prospecting, particularly WA, where you'll need to cover a lot of ground. This thing will cover a lot of ground, and it will go deep, as you've seen there. Well, I hope you found that short video informative. It was just by way of demonstration. Obviously there's so many variables in metal detecting and in the goldfields on large targets deep, such as big nuggets. Depends their orientation, size, conductivity, all sorts of variables. I couldn't actually auger that hole any deeper because my auger only goes to 600, so that's as deep a hole as I could dig to demonstrate that. But as you saw there, this big mono is going to pick up large targets, and that was a large target at significant depths, as you'd expect from a top-end pulse induction machine with a mono coil on it. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. Happy hunting. Bye for now.